I'm back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I ain't gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back in a pair of heels. Yeah, and she be riding on that thing like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, I love them dark skin, brown skin, caramel. You know I had to bring it to the hood like she Karen Civil. When she keep on turning head, cause when she whoop that thing, jiggle, jiggle.
And we going back to back on them like we
Still have 5 more to make. All these little girls are going to Burning Man. I feel like he just is buying the camera because he saw her Facebook, because it was on Facebook Marketplace, and now he just wants to ask her out. When I meet people to sell stuff, I'm like, okay, here you go. Give me the money. Through the mirror. Why'd that take you so long?
Because he was nice and I was talking to him.
I completed this order, but I'm gonna go drop it off. Thing about me is I always like come up with like a better idea, you know, or like second guess every idea I have. Nothing's really set in stone with me. So like I've gone back and forth on the length like 100 times. I think I'm gonna cut them shorter, a little bit shorter. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. The whole point of like these pickles, the name used to be called Pickles and Pam, and I changed it to Billy Joe, Billy Joe's. I don't know, which one do you like better, Billy Joe's or Pickles and Pam? Whatever the crowd wants, I'll give. Also, by the way, you guys, I used some of the profit that I made off these necklaces to invest in some tools to make hand-stamped rings, okay, like silver rings. So I got some of the tools and stuff like that. So I'm gonna experiment with that today after I drop these off. Then maybe put them on my Etsy. Also, like, if you live in Arizona, I have these on my Etsy, but just DM me so that you can just Venmo me directly. And if you live, like, in Arizona, like, I'll drop it off at your house, like, in your mailbox if you Venmo me. So I was telling Holly that, and she is a partner at Wiseman & Gale Interiors. Back when I worked, back in another life, when I worked at an interior design firm. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I used to work at an interior design firm, and she's like an interior designer and a partner. And what's really cool about her is her and her husband, like, they're part of the what's it called, the Walter Group. Like, they're kind of famous at Burning Man. Like, they have like so many freaking art displays, like really cool things, like magic school buses, not really magic school bus, but like cool stuff like that. And they'll have like warehouse parties in downtown Phoenix to like promote their art. And she's part of that, has been forever, her and her husband. I think it's more of her husband's thing, but she's always along for the ride, I think. So she ordered these necklaces for me for Burning Man. And for the Burning Man, like Walter Cronkite, what's it called? Walter Cronkite, I don't know. Like, anyone that goes to Burning Man knows them. So the front of them, she ordered these necklaces for everyone in the group and says The Burn. 2023. And then the back says, start with love. Okay? And the thing is, she messaged me and she was like, what length do you usually do for them? By the way, these necklaces, I hand stamp them and they're 100% brass, so they don't tarnish or anything. Well, they tarnish, they do turn, they, what's it called? Patina a little bit. But I think that's, the patina is what makes them look cool because they look like old, you know? And they don't turn you green or anything like that though, so that's nice. So she messaged me and she was like, I think we should do them long, right? And I like the look of the longer if you're wearing like a lot of necklaces. Okay, and then also the nice thing about having it long is that you can double wrap it so it can be a choker. But I'm thinking maybe it's a little bit too long, only because my dumbass asked for someone's opinion and now I asked for my roommate's opinion and now her opinion got stuck in my head. She's like, I think it's too long. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like, this is why I hate asking other people's opinions on things because everyone has a different opinion and makes me question myself. So I was telling Holly, I was like, don't be surprised when you get the necklaces because they are all, what I wrap the necklaces in are all stolen fabrics from the business that you own. And she was, I was like, but don't worry because all the fabrics because I wrap them in little fabrics, I'm like, but don't worry because all the fabrics that I use are all discontinues. So like, it's fine. She's like, that's fucking hilarious. Because the thing is, some people will understand this. Because it's definitely like a personality trait. I think it's a personality trait of creative broke people. So the thing is, like, so we get these are all called memos, fabric memos. They're samples of fabrics. And a lot of the times, like in the interior design world, fabrics are always getting discontinued, either because they run out of stock, because they don't make it anymore, because like different fabric lines, they'll come out with new fabrics like twice a year for new seasons. And so when you work at an interior design firm, we have like a library. There's always a library of like thousands and thousands of fabrics to choose from like, because each like fucking manufacturer, I think these are all Lisa Fine fabrics, these ones, and like just thousands, like one designer has like thousands of options to choose from. Well, hundreds, but they've made like thousands. Okay. Anyway, so when it's discontinued, you want it out of the library, because the worst thing in the world is when you find a fabric that you love that goes perfectly in your client's house, and then you go to order it and it's discontinued, and then you have to go back to the client and be like, hey, look, like the fabric that I showed you that you absolutely love, yeah, like they don't make it anymore, like we can't get it. And so that's frustrating. So me, usually you would take the fabrics back to the showroom, and the showroom like recycles them or sends them back. Usually the showroom sends them back to like, they probably like send them back to the manufacturer so then they can like just recycle it, you know? And so instead of taking it back, the brands that I really liked, like I loved Lisa Fine, Zac and Fox, like there's just a lot of brands that I absolutely love. Or when we get designer ones like Hermes and stuff like that, it's like I'm fucking keeping these. But you can use this one day for something. So I collect, like I do many other things. And then when I started making these necklaces, I was like, perfect, the fabrics are perfect for wrapping these. I knew I would use on one day. I used to just take everything, like trash, any type of trash that was free, I wanted. So I was like, I could use that. I can use that for an art project. As you get older and you hone in on your skills, you realize what you will use and what you won't use. These fabric memos, I would still steal them to this day. I've used them for multiple things, multiple presents, like one person's trash is another person's treasure, they say. 100% true. Speaking of trash, so I went to my sister's closet. You know, right now they're having that like end of the year, that like sale where it's like you take 40% off everything, the next day 50, the next day 70. By the way, I have to go back for these pants. Oh my god, I got in a fight with someone at my, not really, but kind of. So there's these jeans, right? They get me so like cutest jeans you've ever seen on me, ever. And I went the day of like the 40% off because I was going to Citrine and to get new like face stuff, and like my sister's closet's in the Biltmore, so it's like I'm just gonna take a little gander. And so I try on these jeans. They're gorgeous on me, okay? And the fucking zipper is broken on them. So I'm like, shit, like, no one's gonna buy these. The zipper's broken. Is it worth getting the zipper fixed at like Tony's? I decided yes, it was worth getting the zipper fixed. But I was gonna ask, never done this in my entire life. This is the first time I've ever done it. Gone up to the person at the counter and said, hey, like, is there any way I can get the full sale price on these, like the 70% off, because they were going on 70% off from like, well, today they're 70% off. I'm probably gonna go buy them actually. And this guy, like the worst fucking attitude, was just like looked at me like I was like fucking crazy. And he's like, yeah, I wish I could do that for you, but like, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, okay. Like he acted like I was trying to scam him or something. But I was like, bro, like, the jeans are like broken. Like, no one's gonna buy them. No one. Who's gonna go and get those jeans fixed? You know? The only reason I'm doing it is because I've never found a pair of jeans that fit me like this. But they're just like regular jeans, just something like fucking special about them. You know? And they're already like $30, marked at $30. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to spend $30, but like, can you give me the 70% off so I can buy them for like $15 and then go get the zipper fixed? Like, I'm gonna end up spending the same amount of money. But like, come on, can you pay for my repair? And I don't know, I'm just like, no, we don't do that. And like, I got so angry about it. I get it, because people probably ask all the time for like discounts and stuff for like no reason, but I feel like my reason is pretty legitimate. So I'm gonna go back today though, and guaranteed the jeans are still gonna be there. Like, I'll be shocked. The problem is I have to go dig now in my sister's closet to find them. I don't even wanna go in there. I don't even wanna go in there. Cause I don't even wanna spend money right now. I don't wanna shop. And I know if I go in there and everything's like 70% off, I'm just gonna like want to spend a lot of money, and that's something I don't think that's something that's like not going to be good for me. So maybe I'm not going to go get those jeans today, and I'll just, they're G-Star, and I'll just go on G-Star and buy them for full price another day. Is that ridiculous? I don't know. They're like these low-rise jeans. They don't really make them anymore. They're like very 90s. The style. Like just that low-rise style. Very low-rise where like if you have a butt, if you have like a big butt, it makes you look like you have no butt. But people who have no butt, it makes you look like you have a butt because the pockets cut off like really high. So it made me look like I had some like juicy ass. So that's why I wanted them so bad. Not a good idea, already tangled. Oops. Okay, how do I not? I'm already fucking up so bad. To check each one. I don't know if you guys know this, but actually no one knows this. But when I first started making these necklaces, I just got them into a whole tangled fucking mess. God damn it. So when I first started making these necklaces, I don't know how, but one day I woke up with like a ton of orders, right? And I was like, what the fuck? And I realized, years later I realized, because I decided to Google myself one day, and I saw that, I got all these orders on like my Etsy. I have no idea why. I got all these orders, I mean like 10. And like no one was buying the necklace for me, so it was just like random. Years later, when I Googled myself one day, I figured out that I was featured in People magazine online, and it was like best gifts under $30 for Christmas. And my Etsy was on there with these pickles and Pam necklaces. Isn't that great? I think I took a picture of it on my phone, but it's on my old computer, and my old computer doesn't turn on, so now I don't even have proof to show that, because the article's obviously expired, but proof to show that I was not. And like, you don't do things like, and you like, I don't know, like a year later, I stopped making the necklaces, and I found the article after I stopped making the necklaces. And the thing is, I was like so excited, right? Like jumping for joy that I was featured in People Mag. People Mag online. There's a difference. And like the website People Magazine. So like in one of the blogs on People Mag. Anyway, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then like I was telling everyone, texting everyone, showing everyone. Everyone was like, nice, cool. Like they didn't freak out about it, you know? Like I didn't even get any validation from it. And that's the thing. I feel like I never get any validation because I'm always searching for validation. I never got validation as a kid. I even showed my parents, I'm like, look, they're like, nice, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, like, what? Aren't you gonna like, I don't know, like celebrate me a little bit more? I have this like, I don't really have a victim mentality, but my kind of victim mentality is being like, no one, is I just feel very unseen. I just feel like no one's ever like, actually it's not true. People do give me compliments all the time. It's just that strangers give me compliments all the time, you know, people that aren't close to me. People that are close to me though never seem to like celebrate me enough. Like I'm like, hello, I'm amazing, like why aren't you like telling me how amazing I am? So I guess I need to find that validation within myself. It's just not as fun, you know? But then it's like on the other hand, when there is people that like are like, oh my god, Billy, you're just the coolest, blah, blah, blah. Like, people who are low-key obsessed with me, immediately turns me off. And I'm like, you're weird. Like, what's wrong with you? You know? Have you ever seen those TikToks? Those TikToks crack me up that are like, it's so easy for me to get love bombed by a narcissist. Cause like, you know how like, I'm not gonna get into it, but like, you know, narcissists have like the first stage of a narcissistic relationship is the love bombing stage where they like are like so delusional about you and they're like, oh my god, you're like the best thing in the world, like you're a queen, blah blah blah, like you're my soulmate, like you're the best thing that's ever happened to the world. And it's like, and there's just so many TikToks of these girls that are like so easy for me to like get stuck in narcissistic relationships because I fall for the love bombing right away because they're like, I'm so delusional that I do think all the things. I'm like, finally someone noticed like how awesome and amazing I am. Like, geez. Oh my god, it's so true because like I think everyone likes to think that they're like so special, you know? Including me. Like, I like to be like, I'm just so unique, I'm so special to the world, you know? Like, we all have to think that way in order to like survive, you know? It's just like what we do as humans. And we're like, no one else is like us. Like, I'm special. But really, at the end of the day, and none of us are special. Like, we're all basically the same. Like, we all have, like, TikTok kind of made me realize that. Made me realize, like, we all have the same thoughts. Like, no one's really, like, different. That different. Like, we're all the fucking worst, okay? Adorable. Have you ever heard, I was reading this thing this morning on like human design. Love learning about human design, by the way, but I was reading about like the sacral energy center and how like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and this is 25, and I need to find a fucking string. Non-emotional. Thing that comes up first, non-emotional binge eating. Non-emotional. Non-emotionals. Human design. What the fuck?